You're listening to Missing Persons, brought to you by AbJack Entertainment. Be sure to check out some of the other great true crime podcasts from this network, including The Murder in My Family, DNA ID, Beyond Bizarre True Crime, Zodiac Speaking, Scene of the Crime, and 3 Men and a Mystery. All of these podcasts are available for you to binge on right now, wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe where you're listening to this podcast so you don't miss an episode.
This is a Missing Persons Alert episode. 18-year-old Naomi Irion went missing on March 12, 2022 from Fernley, Nevada. Naomi typically parked her car in the Fernley Walmart parking lot and boarded a 5:30 a.m. shuttle bus to work at Panasonic Energy of North America in nearby Reno. On Saturday the 12th, Naomi left the house she shared with her older brother Casey Valley shortly before 5 a.m. in her own car. She stopped at a Chevron convenience store at 5:03 a.m. and purchased some food. She's visible on the convenience store's internal surveillance camera, paying for her items at the register. Naomi then got back in her car and drove to the Walmart. She can be seen on surveillance camera arriving at the parking lot at 5:09 a.m. The video footage shows that it's still dark outside. Naomi sat inside her vehicle, a blue sedan, active on social media with friends overseas, between 5:09 a.m. and 5:23 a.m. She was on Snapchat at 5:23, but at 5:24 a.m., the Walmart surveillance video showed a man wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt, dark pants or jeans, and dark tennis shoes approaching her car. He opened the driver's side door and said something, causing Naomi to move over to the passenger seat. At 5:25 a.m., her vehicle was seen leaving the parking lot with the man driving. The suspect in this case, the man who abruptly entered Naomi's car, was also visible on video just minutes prior to the attack, pacing along the east side of the building. Security camera footage released by the sheriff's office shows him walking toward the Walmart parking lot from the direction of a nearby homeless encampment. Police had been alerted to Naomi going missing by her brother, Casey, whom she lived with. He hadn't seen Naomi that morning as she left for work before he arose for the day, and he hadn't seen her the night before, Friday, either. He had been exhausted from a long workday and had been in bed before she got home from her typical workday around 8:30. But on Saturday night, he was awake and waiting for her to arrive home from work, but she never did. When she failed to come home on Saturday and all of Sunday, he reported her missing to the Lyon County Sheriff's Office. But since Naomi was a young adult with her own vehicle that was also gone, police did not take action. Casey was extremely concerned. Naomi was naive and not used to life in America. She had been raised overseas because her father is a diplomat for the United States Department of State. Her parents currently reside in South Africa, but Naomi grew up moving around, being raised in Russia, Germany, and South Africa. She was just starting her adult life in the United States, having graduated from an American high school in South Africa and moved to the U.S. in 2021. Naomi was working at her job to save money for community college and her own place. She didn't have close friends in the area, but was very close with Casey and his girlfriend Nikki, and they knew immediately that Naomi would not just have gone off on her own. Casey called local hospitals and jails, but no one had seen his sister. He called their father in South Africa, who was able to access Naomi's debit card information. He confirmed that it was last used at a Chevron station convenience store near the Walmart at 5:03 a.m. on the morning she vanished. As I said earlier, Naomi was visible on the store's video camera, seeming totally normal. Casey's next stop in his quest to find his sister was the Walmart, where he knew she usually parked her car and boarded the shuttle. Her car wasn't there, but he found a cooperative manager who allowed him to view the surveillance footage from the morning of the 12th. Casey saw the footage I described earlier, showing a man approaching Naomi's car, her moving over, and the man driving her car away. Casey said in an interview, quote, "We saw the abduction happen. It was surreal. It was a deep, sinking feeling. My blood ran cold immediately. I could tell from my sister's body language she gets kind of jittery when she's nervous. He told her something or threatened her in a way that made her move over. I could tell this was not something she was consenting to or had planned or was expecting. Casey's last call before police was to Panasonic, which confirmed that Naomi had not shown up to work all weekend. He then reported to police that his sister had been kidnapped. Needless to say, the surveillance video showing the hooded man pacing in the dark near the Walmart and then abruptly driving Naomi away was enough to get police to pay attention. They immediately pinged Naomi's phone and discovered that it had been off since early morning on the 12th. But it had been active for about 10 minutes after the car was driven out of the Walmart lot, and on March 15th, police traced its last pings to an area less than a mile from the Walmart next to a Sherwin-Williams Western Emulsion plant. There, they found Naomi's car abandoned very close to I-80. Where the car was found is near the homeless encampment that was in the direction from which the suspect walked into view on the surveillance footage. Naomi and her crossbody purse, iPhone, and AirPods were all missing from the vehicle. But law enforcement confirmed that the vehicle contained evidence that criminal activity had taken place within the car. They have not specified what this was, but we can only guess that there was possibly forensic evidence of an attack inside the car. The Lyon County, Nevada Sheriff's Office issued a news release asking that anyone who might have seen anything at the Fernley Walmart to please call the sheriff's office. They also released an image of a dark-colored 2020 or newer Chevrolet 2500 High Country four-door pickup truck with chrome door handles and a color-matched bumper that they believe the suspect was driving. Authorities will not address the source of the image of the suspect's vehicle. The FBI commenced working with the Lyon County Sheriff's Office Major Crimes Division and issued a most wanted release labeling Naomi's case a kidnapping. And then, in a very recent development, on Friday, March 25th, authorities took a suspect into custody and impounded the pickup truck that they had been seeking. The man they are holding on kidnapping charges is 41-year-old Troy Driver of Fallon. But Naomi remains missing. Her family does not know the man who has been arrested, and he does not appear to be cooperating with police. Naomi Irion is 5 feet 11 inches tall and approximately 240 pounds, with brown hair dyed black and green eyes. She has a septum piercing, piercings in both nostrils, and a smiley face tattoo on one ankle. Please, if you have any information about the whereabouts of Naomi Irion, call your local FBI field office.
Missing Persons is produced under the name AbJack Entertainment by Mike Morford and Jessica Betancourt. It's hosted by Mike Morford and Jessica Betancourt, with writing and research by Jessica Betancourt and editing by Mike Morford. Be sure to listen every other Saturday for an all-new episode of Missing Persons.